Hello everyone and welcome to my What If Goku Trained Deku Part 9. I know it's been so long since I last uploaded from this series, but it is back, and now we shall see what this Deku has to offer. But let's get to today's video. Hit it!
Body, baby, show me.
Okay, so in part 8, Deku had taken down both Stain and the Flying Nomu, while in the end, our young heroes had to give up on their honor from taking down the anime. Some time had passed after that event, and now everyone in class 1A was going to have a test, a battle between heroes and students. Then everything just went like in the anime, with the fights going as normal. But when Deku and Bakugo were going to fight All Might, All Might showed up next to Goku. This surprised Deku and Bakugo. Why was Goku with him? All Might explained that since Deku and Bakugo grew so strong, 2 against 1 would be too hard for All Might. But All Might also explained that while Bakugo and Deku were resting and taking classes, All Might was training with Goku for some time, making him stronger than before. While before All Might had a power level under 1000, this time All Might was over 2000 and was now able to use Kaioken up to 10 times, making All Might power level go up to 20,000. They would still be able to work together and win the match, although the match was not a total fighting type. They could still escape and win that way, but we all know that neither Goku nor All Might would let that happen. The fight had begun. Deku and Bakugo rushed at All Might, who was using a Kaioken times 4. All Might was holding his own, but behind Deku, Goku showed up and said, "Aren't you forgetting anyone?" punching Deku through some buildings. Bakugo rushed to try and help Deku, but before he could react, All Might punched Bakugo, sending him flying against Deku. Both of them were puking blood and were tired from all the fighting. Then Deku asked Bakugo, "Kachan, should we use that last resort?" Bakugo didn't want to, but he saw that they had no choice, and so we heard Fusion! Ha! A beam of light covered the whole area, and from the light,
I didn't want to resort to this, since this is what I hate the most. But it's the only way to win, right, Master Goku?
All Might was shocked by the amount of power radiating from them. Their power was stronger than All Might at Kaioken times 10. Let's say that Daka, Deku plus Kachan, were around 60k, since the fusion dance fuses and multiplies the power from both. Then, Daka powered up to full cowl 100%, rising its power from 60k to 150k, and combining both powers, they shouted,
Detroit Explosion!
The power from this attack sent both Goku and All Might against the wall. Goku had to endure the blast while protecting All Might and the city behind him, so that no one would die. Still, Deku was powerful, but nowhere near Goku, who took the blast like a champ. The explosion rised up, a huge cloud of dust, and while everyone was distracted, Deku ran to the exit, winning the battle. Some time passed, and all of UA went shopping together. Although everyone wanted different things, Deku and Urarakas did stay together, until Deku felt the presence of Shigaraki Tomura, and, without thinking, went after him. Then, somehow, Deku stopped feeling Shigaraki's ki, and from behind Deku, a hand grabbed his neck, leaving just one finger out.
Don't make a commotion. Don't forget that there's a lot of people here. And if you do anything, I'll disintegrate you.
Deku felt a shiver down his spine, and went with Shigaraki. Both of them were near a fountain, where Shigaraki told Deku,
Let me tell you this. We know what you guys are up to. And you're not the only one who got powerful. You shall see what I'll do to you.
Then, Uraraka saw them, and this made Shigaraki fall back, disappearing into the crowd. Some time passed, and knowing that UA was being chased by villains, Class 1A and 1B were sent to a special training plan to prepare them better for the future. There, they met the Wild Wildcats. I can say the full name because YouTube might not like no words, but a group of heroes were there to train them. As soon as everyone was ready, the cliff they were on fell, making the heroes drop a long way down. This except for Deku and Bakugo, who were able to fly. This amazed the Wild Wildcats, but then All Might and Goku showed up next to them, telling them that they would train both Bakugo and Deku, but they would still let them eat and sleep with their classes. The group agreed, and so another long training started. Deku and Bakugo were growing, but somehow they felt their growth was starting to slow down. They couldn't be hitting their limit, could they? Goku then explained that they would need to train in a harder way than before, and so Goku gave them both, Bakugo and Deku, weighted clothing. If, in the classic Dragon Ball, Goku got way stronger by just wearing 100 kilos, now both Deku and Bakugo would wear 1 ton each. This would make them slower and would make them harder for them to move. From afar, a young boy named Kota was watching them train, looking at them with a mad look, since he didn't believe in heroes anymore, ever since his parents died from a villain attack. Kota hated heroes for not being able to take down villains. After some days had passed, Deku tried to get closer to Kota. Still, Kota was always trying to make Deku stop following him, until one night, Class 1A and Class 1B, who were together in the training camp, were attacked by the League of Villains. A huge fire had started burning the forest like crazy. The students were able to stop some of the villains, but then Deku noticed something. Kota was missing, and so he tried to search for Kota's key, finding him on the top of the mountain. There, Deku told Kota that they had to leave, but as soon as Deku was about to catch Kota, a huge shockwave was directed at Deku. This strength wasn't normal. It was stronger than All Might, and from the smoke came out a huge man with a scar on his eye. This man's name was Muscular. This Muscular is far stronger than the one in the anime. Shigaraki did tell Deku that the League of Villains was planning something, and that Deku would never imagine their power, but Deku never thought that it would be at this extent. Deku felt Muscular's power, and got scared because of Muscular's power level was over 5,000. This was still way over Deku's power level of 3,500. There's no way he could defeat that monster. This power increase it's all because All For One has kept an eye on All Might and Deku. He knew they were growing more and more powerful by the day, and with that in mind, he went on a rampage around the world collecting more and more quirks so that he could become even more powerful than before. Deku tried to brush Muscular off, but there was no end to his attacks. Deku shouted at Kota to run away. He would take care of the monster, but Kota didn't want to. He couldn't leave Deku's side. Deku tried his best to fend off Muscular, but like in the anime, Deku was using everything he had. He couldn't defeat him. And when Muscular was about to finish Deku for good, Kota launched a spring of water at him, making Muscular lose focus on Deku. But this was his greatest mistake. Deku got stronger. He couldn't let Kota be hurt, nor could he let that monster go free after all he's done. And searching deep within him, power started to surge. Showing like in the anime, all the users' auras started to help Deku, until the moment he shouted, "One for all! 1,000,000%! Detroit Smash!" This power was the power of Plus Ultra, and so Deku's power level rose up by 5 times, pushing Deku to his limits and sending Muscular against the wall of the mountain, creating a cave so deep that light couldn't get to it. And thanks to Deku, Muscular was finally defeated. After that, everything went just like in the anime. Deku with Kota went to meet the others, leaving Kota with them. Deku still needed to fight for their friends. Even if he didn't have any more energy, he knew that they needed help. Once Deku got to meet up with everyone, the League of Villains was giving their all to defeat our heroes, but so was everyone. But when Deku looked for Bakugo, he was nowhere to be found. He couldn't even sense his ki. Where was he? Then Uraraka told Deku that Bakugo had been captured by the villains and that the masked man had him in the marble. This made Deku furious. He tried his best to save Bakugo, but then Fumikage also got turned into a marble. And when Deku thought he had finally been able to save them, only Fumikage was with him. Bakugo was now being teleported on a portal to the League of Villains hideout. Deku saw his best friend, his rival, leave, and he couldn't do anything to stop them. "If only I was stronger! If only I could have gotten more power!" Deku said while watching Bakugo being taken away. But Bakugo shouted,
"Don't look for me! I'll handle them!"
Deku fell to the ground. He was exhausted. He had no more strength in him. And after a while, two familiar voices started to echo in Deku's mind. And when Deku woke up, he saw Goku and All Might there. They asked Deku what had happened while they were gone, and in tears, Deku explained everything. Then Deku asked Goku to train him in the hyperbolic time chamber. He needed to get stronger fast if he wanted to save Bakugo, to save his best friend. Goku agreed with him. Goku couldn't do anything for them since he was not from that universe, but he promised to help Deku out. All Might told Goku to go with Deku. He would go after Bakugo. He now knew where they had their base since he could feel Bakugo's ki. Well everyone, I really hope you all liked this episode. I really tried my best to make this one, and I really hope I've made the best of my episodes. I promise I'll even make the next episode better than this one. And in that episode, we will see the final battle with All for One. But that's it for this episode. If you guys like this episode, don't forget to leave a like. That like really helps me share this video and show me that you all really like what I do. Also, don't forget to leave a comment, and also don't forget to follow me for more videos like this. My name's Kivo, and goodbye.